Back to the next video. In today's video I will show you how to do face detection using MediaPipe in a Flutter application. So I'll show it for both Android and iOS. So first what you have to do is you will have to go to this documentation over here. You will have to scroll down, go to the model section, and here you will have to download this Blaze face short range model. There are other full range and sparse full range, but they are still not they are still coming soon. We can't really download them. Maybe by the time you watch this video you might be able to download those, but currently I'm only using this one. So just download this. Next, as you can see, I have created a Flutter project. I'll show you the output as well. So here, as you can see, I have one button called pick image. Once I click on it, it opens the photo picker, and I can select one image, and it draws a bounding box around the face. And if you see, like, the bounding box is little off. I don't know why. It works fine on native Android development, but for Flutter it looks a little off. So yeah, there is one issue for this, but yeah, this seems more like a Flutter issue than an coding issue. Here you can see it's really off. Yeah, but it is what it is. If you know how to resolve this issue, do let me know. And here I will try to pick another face, and here you can see it is a little bit off, but I will show you for iOS as well. iOS it works perfectly fine. Again, I'll click on a button, it opens the photo picker. I'll select an image, and here you can see it draws a bounding box around the. It also displays how much confident it is, like the percentage. So yeah, so as usual, create a Flutter project. Next, go to main.dart, and here so there will be two things. One will be a native view for displaying the image as well as for drawing the bounding box. So for that I am using this my image view.dart, and second one is a method channel for picking the image. So I have refactored my homepage widget. I have created one method channel called pick image platform. Once the image is picked, I am getting that image URL from native side and sending it back to the Flutter side. So if you see over here inside this text button, I am calling this method called pick image from our platform channel, and once we get the URL, I am setting it to this image URL variable which we have created. And once that is not equal to null, then I am displaying our my image view, and I have set a width and height of 400 by 400. This may be the issue. This may be the reason why our Android output is little off, but I have tried hard coding the width and height on native Android side as well, but still it wasn't working for me. That's why I had to go with this final solution. So here you can see I have created my image view. Now if you go to my image view.dart, I have created one identifier. This is a stateful widget, and I have created so here I am passing this image URL which we get once you image is picked, and this is only for updating our view, so that once the user picks a different image, we keep updating it. And here this is boilerplate code for creating a native view, so just use the Android view as well as the UIKit view for iOS. Pass your key, pass the view type, and pass your creation params. Next, for Android, go to Android, build.gradle. So here they have changed it a bit. Like previously this Kotlin version was in build.gradle, now they have made it in settings.gradle. I don't know why. So you will have to update the version to 1.9.0 for Kotlin. Also go to app, build.gradle, and here make sure min SDK version is at least 24, because that is what is required by MediaPipe. Next, I have added this two dependency because we need to make use of register for activity result for picking an image. That's why I am using this. Also, I have added this MediaPipe task vision dependency which will work with the TF Lite model which we have downloaded. Then I have added this coil dependency as well for loading a bitmap inside our image view, and I have added constraint layout. I'll tell you why I have added constraint layout in a bit. Next, go to src main, create a folder called assets, and here you will have to drag and drop the TF Lite model which we have just downloaded. Next, go to I don't think Android manifest, no changes in Android manifest. Then you will have to go to Kotlin. First you will have to create this file overlay view.kt, and I have just copy pasted it from the documentation, so you can just go to this documentation over here and you can click over here. So basically what it does, it draws the bounding box around the face. Okay, so yeah, I'll just slowly scroll down. You can pause the video if you want to copy it. Yeah, it is what it is. All right, this is done. Next I have created so go to your main activity.kt and first add all these imports, and here I have created our method channel result. So here you can see I am using register for activity result as well. If you want better intelligence, you can open the Android folder inside Android Studio. Next, once the this method is called, you get an URI, and if the URI is not equal to null, I am sending it back to the flutter side as well. Here I am registering our image view, so I have used the same identifier on the Dart side as well. And here you can see I am registering our method channel, and once the pick image method is called, I am just launching get content.launch array of image slash star, so which comes over here. And for this image view, first I have defined an image view factory. Again, this is like boilerplate code which you have to write for any type of a native view. Once that is done, here I have created my image view.kt, and here this is all it takes. And here I have created the parent view as constraint layout. The reason is that I want the image view and the overlay view at the same position. Okay, so that's why you can't use a linear layout, because linear layout can be either vertical or horizontal. You can use relative layout as well, but I don't remember relative layout much. That's why I decided to go with constraint layout. Next we have to use this base option builder again, and this name should be the same whatever you have named it over here. Next we are creating our face detector options builder. Running mode is image. You can copy all these imports if you want to. Okay, and here we are just creating options builder.build. We are creating our face detector. Here I am returning our constraint layout, and inside init I am just initializing face detector. I am initializing layout parents for our constraint layout. Then we are creating constraint set as well. Then we are doing adding our image view inside our constraint layout, and constraining it to the top, left, start, and top and bottom as well. So that's what this is. Similarly for overview, adding it to constraint layout and constraining it to all the sides. Then just we have to call constraint set dot apply to constraint layout, and once we get the URI, I am just calling this display method. And if you see, we are creating a bitmap out of the URI. Then we are converting it to RGB underscore 4x8. Then we are converting it to scaled bitmap. Then we get an MP image from our bitmap. Then we pass it to the detect method of face detector, and once we get the result, we pass it to overlay view dot set results, and we pass the image height and width as well. And once with contact dispatcher dot main, we are just calling image view dot load bitmap. Yeah, and this is a helper method for scaling down the bitmap. So yeah, I think that's it for Android side. For iOS, open the iOS folder inside Xcode, and firstly what you can do is you can drag and drop your TF Lite model over here as well for iOS, and make sure this target membership is checked. Next you will have to go to I think you will have to update this minimum iOS to 14.14. I have kept it as 14.6, and over here as well. Next go to, so what I have done is that, like while creating a new Flutter project, the pod file for iOS is not created. So to create this pod file automatically for me, what I did was I added this dependency URL launcher, which automatically creates a pod file. You can add any dependency which create a pod file for you. I know URL launcher creates it because I don't remember all this stuff. So once that pod file is created, you will have to add this pod inside your pod file. Then you will have to open your terminal, cd to the iOS directory, and run pod space install. Make sure you close Xcode before that. Once that is done, you can open Xcode again and open the iOS folder XC workspace. Next again the overlay view does the same thing of drawing bounding box. So if you are curious, you can go to the iOS side, and here just click on this media library view controller, go to face detector. Inside views you can see this overlay view dot swift. So again I have just copy pasted it, so you can also copy paste it if you want to. So I will just slowly scroll through this. If you want, you can pause the video and copy paste the code. Yeah, it's a bit long as compared to Android. So yeah, that's it. So I'll just scroll slowly up as well. Alright, next we have to go to app-delegate.swift. Here I have created a imported photos UI. Also make sure inside your info.p list you add this photo library usage description permission, and inside app delegate, as you can see, I have imported photos and photos UI. I have added this flutter result as well as flutter view controller. Here I have registered our native view. I am using the same identifier. I have created our flutter view controller as well as method channel, and once the pic image is called, I am just checking whether the photo library permission is granted or not. If not, then I am requesting the permission. If yes, then I am just calling directly pic photo. Once pic photo is called, it directly opens the phpicker configuration and it launches flutter controller.present vc animated of true. Once the user picks an image, the callback comes over here, so I am dismissing our picker over here. And if the result is empty, I'm just displaying empty result. Otherwise I'm sending that asset identifier, which is kind of like a URL on Android side, like here it is asset identifier for iOS. So I'm just sending it back to the Flutter side. Next we have to create this class. Again, this is boilerplate code for defining any kind of a native view. Only you can find it inside the Flutter docs, and it references the my image view native view. And if you go over here, so firstly I'm importing UIKit photos as well as MediaPipe task vision. Next I have created our UI view. Then I have created image view as well as overlay view, created face detector options as well as face detector. I have initialized our UI view, and here I have added my image view as well as overlay view to our UI view. Then did some NS layout constraints. Then this name should be the same whatever you have over here for your TF Lite model. And once you have a model path, then we just do a model asset path equal to path and running mode equal to image. Then we just initialize face detector, and once we get the image URL, we just call create native view, and here we are referencing the returning the view parent view. And once create native view is called, I call this method called get photo in library. Once we have this particular image, which is a UI image, I just create an MP image from it and call the face detector or detect MP image. And here I'm just displaying our UI image inside our image view and passing this MP image to our overlay view dot draw. Okay. Next, sorry, we are not passing MP image, we are passing this result dot detection. Okay. And to get the photo like UI image from the local asset identifier, I have created this helper method as well. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.